for me, it seems that the personal life of Freddie Mercury in this movie is an excuse to listen to all their great concert songs.
No, no.
Hi, I'm Kit. This is Vernon, and we're going to talk about Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes, that's what we just watched.
So, what did we just watch?
Good question. Well, I don't know. It's either a film about Queen or a film about Freddie Mercury, but there's lots of singing in it. All the songs that are featured are the songs that you'd recognize because they're all Queen songs. They're the most recognizable songs of their repertoire, and it's basically a musical, kind of.
I would say it's about Freddie Mercury. It's not so much about Queen. I mean, that's quite clear.
I disagree actually. If you look at the story, most of it is about his band members' recollections of him.
Of him, yeah.
Yeah, which is why it's more of Freddie Mercury as filtered through the Queen band experience.
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because, well, they
Did he have a private life? Well, that not much of the private
No.
life is in it. Thank goodness.
I mean, there are a lot of scenes where the band members were not there, right? It's him and this Mary lady who I've never heard
his
of before,
ex-wife,
and this Paul villain guy.
his ex-manager.
Yeah, so I don't know whether they talked to. Maybe Freddie Mercury actually told his band members about what transpired. And
I'm sure everyone wrote memoirs after Freddie died.
no, but did Freddie tell them about what happened in those moments where the other band members were not around? Otherwise, they cooked that up. I don't know, but okay.
Okay, it feels like it's truthy enough. It's truthy enough to be a biopic.
Yeah, it's a biopic. Okay, let's just not go into the whole thing about how much is real, how much is not. Let's just look at
It just feels like a biopic
let's.
that you watch on Lifetime channel.
Oh, you're on Lifetime again. Come on, and not
Okay,
everything's
okay.
Lifetime.
If we skip the Lifetime comparisons, this feels like every other rock band biopic.
Every other, this is Queen. Every other.
No, I could. This feels like the trajectory feels like it. Rags to riches, from not being taken seriously to being taken very seriously,
Okay.
and having the adulation of
Okay,
crowds.
wait. You have to get a baseline first.
The baseline is
The
Will
base-
Ferrell's rock band
No.
parody. Walk Hard, watch it. It's great.
Not a movie baseline.
What do you mean by baseline?
I mean our baseline. How much of a Queen fan are you?
Well, it would actually appear that I've heard and remembered all the Queen songs that are in this movie. I might have heard them when I was listening to radio as a kid.
So casual fan.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that was a song Freddie Mercury sang, or that is the title of the song, but
Casual fan. Very, very casual fan.
but really identifiable.
I'm
Very
so,
identifiable
I'm so
tunes.
disappointed. I'm so disappointed.
What, you're a Queen fan? How much of a Queen fan are you?
I used to be really serious because when I was in my mid-teens, my sister just started working and she bought something like a Walkman compatible. She got the cassette, Queen's Greatest Hits Part 2. And the sound from that was amazing. It was the first time I heard Queen, and I was listening to it over and over and over again. The music was just so I've never heard anything like that before. Let's talk about the movie as a story, okay? Let's not bother ourselves with whether it's true or accurate or not, because I don't know.
I don't know, but before we get to the story, what I'd like to say is that Freddie Mercury's voice has been analyzed by professionals for several years, and what they say makes Queen's music so special is that he's got a huge and wide vocal range, and that his voice has a very unique timbre about it.
Timber.
And that he can vary it to silky, to raspy whenever he wanted at any part of his range. So I felt that at least that got through in the movie. But then again, I found out reading about this movie that they used a mix of Freddie Mercury's tracks as well as another singer's voice
Yeah,
because Irfan Khan couldn't sing.
oh, okay. Yeah, but I could kind of tell that there are some scenes where you could tell that they were not at least using the studio version of the song. Like he was singing unaccompanied. Of course, they could have isolated that from the multi-track from the studio, but aside from that, it's different. It's just a different version. So unless they got it from a live version, or they sang it, they recreated, somebody else sang it again. Yeah. But
But the film, as a film or storytelling,
yeah,
part of
I,
film
I,
itself,
because I'm not so interested in the technical stuff. I was looking out for it, like the special effects. Did they how much of the Wembley crowd did they recreate? I'm not interested in discussing that.
So you're not that great a Queen fan after all, because I figure that most Queen fans would actually be interested in how much they recreated the stages for most of their iconic moments.
Yeah.
But on a storytelling point of view, this film basically it's a tourist attractions. It's a tourist guide to Queen.
No, I mean,
You get all the milestones of their careers fitted together with the milestone soundtracks or singles from that period of time in their
I
career.
think that was the backdrop. I think they really put the emphasis on Freddie Mercury and his personal life, his family. I mean, his parents. But it was also a lot about him and Mary, his first love. I don't know whether did he get married. He proposed, but did he get? I don't know.
No one knows, but I'm sure you could Wikipedia it if you're that great a Queen fan.
So, this is an example of a kind of backstory that kind of works. But it's not the backstory; it's actually the story. Whereas, if you looked at our earlier interview, not interview, our earlier review of First Man, we talked about the little backstory of Neil Armstrong and his daughter who died when she was a child. I felt that was very tacked on because it was just a few minutes. But this one, the movie, they seemed really serious about covering this aspect, and it really became like the backbone of the story.
Right. So boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, boy proposes to girl, and then they live together, and then he decides he prefers guys,
But he doesn't admit it. He doesn't realize it, but she realizes it.
yes. So for the rest of the movie, it's about him pining for her, and her trying to. I don't know what does she try to do, but it makes for very interesting storytelling.
And he gets involved with the villain Paul, who takes advantage of him.
As a manager.
And he's the Yoko Ono of the piece. Yeah.
If Yoko Ono managed the Beatles.
So I thought it was a good biopic. Nice choice of songs.
In fact, the only choice of songs, because those are the only songs that any casual Queen fan would sort of think, that one, I've heard it on radio before.
There are a lot more.
But those were the biggest.
But like one of my regrets was that they did. They had a lot of songs. They've got a lot of life and events to cover. So like any movie, they have to cut stuff. And one of the things I really liked about Queen's music was their soundtracks, Flash Gordon and Highlander, and that was not mentioned. They did play Who Wants to Live Forever from Highlander, but it was just a song there. There was no mention of the movie. So I would have liked to have seen some background about their involvement with these movies, but it's okay.
True. I mean, that's why I call it a casual fans / tourist guide to Queen.
You would have recognized the other songs from Flash Gordon. And
I wouldn't have recognized.
You would.
I wouldn't have identified it as from being from Flash Gordon, but I would have identified it. I've heard this on radio.
Oops. Okay, I can't sing. Okay.
So Kid is right. This movie leaves out a lot of context or a lot of richness but it focuses mostly or mainly on the band drama.
Uh, I think that still took
Quite a lot of telling.
second place to him and Mary and Paul. Right? I really thought that was like
That
the
is the
main
name of a band, isn't it?
what?
Mary, Paul, and something.
Peter, Paul, and Mary. Yeah, and okay, in terms of choices of songs, um, I was hoping that it would end with Too Much Love Would Kill You, because somehow that seems to have been, at least for me, associated with the death of Freddie Mercury.
Or at least a story of Freddie Mercury that they told in this movie, which was kind of like this really needy,
Yeah.
lonely
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
person who was really looking for affection from everyone.
Kind of. I mean,
Yeah.
but it worked. I mean, he came across as a very sympathetic, authentic, even though lost person. And assuming that all this is true, I think they did Freddie Mercury justice. I mean,
They did Freddie Mercury justice, but I'm not sure whether they did Queen justice.
it wasn't about Queen. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but
this is not a movie about
yeah,
Queen.
But you see, that's a problem. I don't know whether this film was meant to be a Freddie Mercury biopic,
Yes.
or whether it's supposed to be Queen,
No,
or was
obviously
it
not.
supposed to be a gay rights poster
Nope.
boy,
Nope.
HIV poster boy
Nope.
kind of movie?
I'm quite right wing, and I'm very sensitive to political correctness or anything, and I did not feel anything at all. No.
In fact, I think the only overtly political left-wing character in the movie is its villain.
Was he left wing?
Well, he tries to seduce Freddie by saying, "Look, I'm the only one who understands you because growing up gay in Belfast, my father would."
That's not political.
Yeah.
That seems fair. I mean,
Belfast is political, but he
Okay.
tried to use his identity as a way to
it seemed a fair.
wedge
It's a fair use of.
drive apart Freddie Mercury and his band,
it seemed
i.e. the supervillain.
there isn't much point in going to detail in the movie, except there's one point. There's one part that doesn't ring true. It seemed too Hollywood. I think they made it up. Where on the way to Wembley Stadium to perform for Live Aid, Freddie hooks up with this nice gay guy that he kind of failed to hook up with
Who rebuffed him? It was like
Until-
some butler stereotype.
until Freddie got his act together. He said, "Yeah, call me if you've got your act together," something like that. And then he takes him to his parents' place to introduce him to his family.
Whom
And
he's been estranged for decades.
So
allegedly.
this seemed too Hollywood.
I don't know about you, but I kept thinking whenever they showed this family, I kept thinking of goodness gracious me. So, those were the parts of the movie which we felt we were impressed by, that we could get behind. Any parts you couldn't get behind?
No, I thought it was good. I thought it was good. But before you ask, I would not watch it again because it's just kind of sad. I mean, Freddie Mercury's life seemed kind of sad the way they presented it.
Well,
And
it seems kind of sad because that's how the band members probably remember him.
yeah, I mean,
For-
yeah. So the movie is sad, and for me,
But
Queen-
it doesn't end with him dying on a hospital bed, in case you're wondering.
yeah, that was a nice
So
one.
that's it's not as sad as you could imagine.
He exits on a high note. So
Right. It does end on a high note, but not the high note of meeting Princess D. Yeah.
So I mean, for me, Queen is mainly about their music, and I can get the music there on YouTube. To remember them, I would just listen to their music. I wouldn't want to watch
A biopic.
a sad biopic.
Which could, parts of it which could be fictionalized. I mean, why bother, right? If you're a Queen fan, you like their music, why go for the fictionalization, possible fictionalization of their story?
And also most people are fans of Freddie even before he died. Whereas I'm more of a Brian May kind of guy. I'm actually more interested in Brian May because
Who's
I,
Brian May? No, serious question. Who's Brian May?
no, Brian May's the lead guitarist of Queen. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Oh, that. Okay.
You really don't know.
I really don't know. So it's like perfectly reasonable question to ask.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, what is it about Brian May that makes him the face of Queen for you, and
No,
not Freddie Mercury?
there's this there's this type of rock geek, I guess, who likes electric guitars more than vocals, and Jimmy Page, Yngwie Malmsteen, Brian May.
Names that just flew off my head.
Yeah.
Was he shredding or something? Did he invent shredding, or was it the wrong guy?
I don't know whether you call it shredding or not. I'm actually not that technical. It's the composition. I mean, like David Gilmour, he's not particularly fast or smooth, but his guitar solos are beautiful. I mean, it's the composition, and I thought Brian May was the same.
So you would have preferred the movie to focus a bit more on the bandmates, basically,
Yeah, and well, there was some.
and as well as what other stuff they're doing outside the band, like for example the tie-ups with Flash Gordon and Rich
Yeah.
Highlander, for example, in really iconic movies of the 70s and 80s.
And 80s.
80s, early 80s.
And related to that is how they actually compose their music, because for me, actually, most rock groups, it's not so much their performing skills or recording skills. It's more about the composition. I think that's where their popularity really comes from, and it's where the magic comes from. So I'm always curious about how did they compose those songs.
Well, I mean, the part of the movie I feel tries to answer that question by
Yeah.
saying, oh, they were having a disagreement, and this is through that disagreement, this song came out.
They did cover it
Or
a bit.
like they were pissed at someone, and because someone is late, the rest of the members who started the elements for this particular song, right?
That was incidental. I mean, like they showed
Yeah,
that.
a lot of it is incidental composition stories.
No,
and-
no. I mean, incidental to the composition. I mean,
Yeah.
like they showed that "We Will Rock You" started with Brian May, I think, starting with the stomp and the clap.
No, a
First-
stomp without the clap.
oh, just a stomp.
Yeah, just
so-
stomping without the clap. Thinking like, oh my god.
Because he wanted to write a song that the audience could participate with. Yeah, so if that's true, I mean that's interesting. That's a nice story. But aside from that, it's like, where did they get the melodies from? Did they have formal music training? Are they thinking in terms of chord progressions? Or do they like iterate the melodies? I don't know.
Yeah, did any of them have formal music training? We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, from a story perspective, it's not necessary. I mean, the movie, I have very few complaints about the script. It's just that my personal
It's
interest.
too narrow, I think. It's too narrow.
Yeah. My personal interest would be more on the technical side, on like the composition.
Yeah. I mean, this movie is great if you wanted a Queen concert experience or to relive their iconic recordings.
Yeah.
Live recordings, that is. Or live shows. I mean, that's about it. And if all you can remember about Freddie Mercury is that he looks like something jumped out from a Tom of Finland sketchbook, but as you see in the end credits, there's a lot of footage where Freddie Mercury is dressed normally, as far as a rock star would dress, as opposed to how people visualize Freddie Mercury dressing. But there's way too much of that in the movie. Seems to have only that kind of Tom of Finland costume, which wasn't actually the case.
And I think they did show nicely that they did different band members actually wrote different songs, so it wasn't just like one or two people writing. And in the end, they kind of came up with the decision that after a while, when they got back together, they made Freddie Mercury agree that
All credits
yeah, would be
go
shared.
to Queen.
Yeah, and no
as
longer.
opposed to individual names.
So yeah, that's interesting and also a good story again.
I agree. I think that this punchline would have worked a lot better if the movie had told a story about other band members as opposed to concentrating a lot on Freddie Mercury.
Well, it was set up properly. They did show them like arguing, like whose song would be the single. So it didn't come out of nowhere.
There's a build up, but the punchline seems to be a little softened somehow.
Yeah, because it's not really a punchline. Really, this movie is about the personal life of Freddie Mercury, and all this is just background.
I think for me, it seems that the personal life of Freddie Mercury in this movie is an excuse to listen to all their great concert songs.
No, no.
I mean that to me and a very casual Queen fan who knows very little about Freddie Mercury, that's what I go to watch a movie for, to listen to Queen's songs.
You can just watch the music videos.
I know, which brings us to the other point. Why on earth would we watch this movie?
If you
Aside from reviewing it for you, why would we watch this movie? Was there a reason to watch this movie?
It's a good biopic. There's drama, there's music.
There's an arc. Somebody gets to discover the meaning of life and find themselves.
Yeah.
I would personally recommend the rock band biopic by Will Ferrell called Rock Hard. It hits all the points
Will
that
Ferrell.
every rock band biopic hits.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, yes, it's a parody of a rock band biopic, but it plays the genre so well. It sticks to the convention so well that it could be completely taken straight.
Okay, I have no recommendations. Okay, we gotta end this. Before I punch his lights out, okay? Yeah.
Okay, but if you like our reviews, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and ring the bell.
Yeah, okay.
If you don't like us, troll us.
Yeah, troll us. We love trolls. We will reply to trolls.
Thank you anyway.
Okay, bye.